long time is our buddies over at Dakota Bio, our first and only proven partner. And really wanted to highlight, we've been doing trials together, Steve, for 3, 4 years at least on our farm, and
I think
been involved in some of the other testing and stuff, even outside of our farm too. Been able to really see this stuff works or something to it, right? And excited to just highlight that more. Historically, Continuum did trials and stuff was a huge part of the company when I started it. About half of my business was consulting with farmers, about half the business was doing like contracted research and trials. And but that data, that research, the companies always owned their own data. We never like published it and shared any of it. Well, now for the first time, we are taking some of this data, putting it out there, sharing our results. The company still owns it. In this case, Dakota Bio still owns that data, but you can see some of those results and actually be able to highlight not, hey, here's what we're seeing on our own farm. All these things, my take is always still, Steve, right? And you talk about it too. You got to try it for yourself. And that's same with all these different things that we're talking about here. You got to try it yourself. But step one is being aware and then figure out what's going to work best for you. But Steve, without further ado, take it away. Tell us a little bit about, Dakota Bio for folks that are not aware of it, and we go from there.
well, thank first off, thanks Mitchell for having me and spotlighting Dakota Bio. We're just really proud and thankful to get this chance to talk to you and your audience. But yeah, I think we started testing with you back in 2020, I think
Probably.
it was. And over all the years, we've worked with, I think, 20 different independent research farms from North Dakota to Kansas to Ohio. And that's where when you see Dakota Bio data, it's all independent, replicated, managed research farms like that. We don't take data from our farm or so forth. But, anyways, thank you. And thanks for that introduction. So, my name is Steve Visted. I'm one of the co founders and owners of Dakota Bio. My main role with Dakota Bio is leading the sales team. So I love working with the sales team and the products. Very, very proud of our products. They're exciting. They're fun, at least to a biological dork kind of like myself. I just love that kind of stuff. But what Dakota Bio does is we develop and produce and sell products that deliver nutrients, um, manage stress, enhance nutrients, residue management products, but it's all focused around biologicals. So to sum it up, we have nitrogen fixation products, phosphorus solubilization products, potassium products, micronutrient enhancement products. The stress mitigation product we're working with, Frenzy, is patent pending. That's actually a metabolite made from a bacteria.
Hmm.
So it's just a lot of really fun, exciting products. And as you said, you've seen them work, and we make all of our yield data and results public with thousands of data points. And it's like you can't win them all because it's farming and things happen, but every one of our products is about an 85% win rate all the way up to a 95% win rate. But we have a lot of products that are really focused on solving specific problems. And what our thought process and what it looks like going forward is really, it's about helping these farmers reduce their inputs because of the economic situation 2025, 2026, and hopefully not much longer than that. But we sit down with growers and dealers across the country and help them understand which soil types, which crops can you reduce the nitrogen, add a nitrogen fixer, for example, like Phenom that we produce, to where your cost per acre of production goes down, but then your nitrogen supply increases, your yields increase, and then we do that with phosphorus and potassium and stress. And so we really focus on how do we help these farmers reduce their inputs, but increase their yields, increase their revenue and profits on their
Well,
farm.
and of course, from our side, it's that improves the CI score. right? And that's where this all ties together,
Exactly.
right? And what
That's
brought
where
about, that's what brought about a lot of this stuff, right? As we were thinking about, gosh, what do we do next, and how do we keep this going? Well, so many of these things and the tools that we're highlighting here today, improving fertilizer management, improving yields, that's going to drive improvement to your CI score, and uh, it all kind of comes full circle.
it does. In full disclosure, full honesty, back in 2019, when we started Dakota Bio, we didn't know about CI score.
No,
We
no,
thought this just made sense and it works.
that's
And
right.
so it's let's take it to the world. And then as CI score developed, it's like, wow, this is a great fit. This is
Yeah.
this is what it's for.
Yeah. It just yeah, it's that holistic big picture kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, so many of these things, Steve, the biological space, it's a crowded space, right? And there's I think everyone's aware of these kind of things. And like I said, I've tried a ton of products that on our own farm, and some of the times we see amazing consistent results, sometimes like, well, maybe there's something there, but just we didn't get a result. But anyway, I think it's important for farmers to continue to experiment in this space, figure out what's going to work best for your operation, figure out how do you optimize your fertility inputs, continue to drive consistent and growing yield outcomes. Hopefully there's a CI carrot and a payment for doing so, but also, of course, it's just controlling what you can control, and that's agronomy. And that's what all of this boils down to is I don't know what's going to happen for certain with 45Z and CI. It looks really good, but I still don't know until it's done. But what I do know is sound agronomy and good business fundamentals, those are here to stay. And that's the other key piece of all this, right? Continuum has gotten into the software stuff and doing CI, but really at the end of the day, it all boils down to how to drive profitability back to the farm, control what we can control. That's what this is about, right? So important to keep in mind there, and it's always continue to try, right? And try new stuff and experiment. And we've had a lot of fun doing that, I think, Steve.
Like you said, it's a very crowded space. There are companies appearing every day and disappearing in this biological space every day. But it's really what we focus on is the proven products with the very high quality fermentation.
Mhm.
But it's a lot about learning. We don't know everything yet. Nobody does, but we do know our crops need NPK and all the
Yeah, yeah,
microbes
yeah,
and how to manage stress. So it's how do we bring those technologies and products to the farmer? But
yeah,
no farmer should feel bad about being confused in this cloudy space, but we're ready to help every day.
yeah, that's right. So, okay, we're gonna